And behind me is the platform of the railway station. So, in order to tell you about this technology using plain language, I have with me today Mr. Yang from the Academy of maglev Research Institute of Jiangxi University of Science and Technology. Good morning, my name is Jiangxi. I'm from the maglev Research Institute from the Jiangxi University of Science and Technology. It's a great pleasure seeing you here today, and I hope that you can have a chance to come to Jiangxi in the future. All right, so we're gonna kick off our journey today to know more about this maglev train. So ever since coming here, I heard about this term of permanent maglev technology. So what is that? What is permanent maglev technology? Well, to put it simple, we're using the magnetic power to levitate the train, and we call it the maglev technology that is permanent. So it's a combination of two different technologies, and we can support small and medium load of transportation. So you talked about this name of red railway. Is that related to the characteristics of the place? Yes, because Xingguo is well known as a birthplace for revolutionary generals. So this is a place with a lot of revolutionary figures. We have, for example, 76 generals for the first generation of the founding of Republic of China, and the old generation of revolutionary figures, they have left a very strong footprint here. So that is why we named our suspension railway the Red Railway. All right, this is very well said. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now inside the train station of the permanent maglev train. So take a look at this waiting lobby, because today we're gonna have a test run, and I believe they are doing some final work before they can get ready. And right in front of us, we have a miniature of this permanent maglev train. The train is moving from left to right, and there are also some display boards. So tell me, when you become operational, will the facilities here become even better? And I can see you have the stairways, you have the washroom. Are you gonna put something else? Well, we have prepared most of the hardware, and we don't want to make it commercial, so we won't sell tickets. There is no pass gate, and there's no ticket hall or ticket office. For the other hardware, for example, fire control, stairways, and washrooms, and those are the necessary facilities. All right, we're gonna get inside and see what else they have. All right, dear viewers, on my right is this model of the permanent maglev train. So Mr. Yang will give us some more introduction. Traditionally, the maglev trains, they are hovering above the ground, but this one here is beneath a suspension bridge. How did you do that? Well, there are a couple of functional modules here. For example, the permanent suspension system. We also have a torque system simply to drive the train forward. And we also have the communications system, the operational control system. We have the beams and columns for the structure, the platform. So there are a couple of different modules. We are able to suspend in the air because we have a suspension system. You can see that this is suspended beneath a structure. this is quite different from the traditional maglev. Traditionally, they're using this super magnetic force, but the permanent magnetic levitation technology does not need any additional supporting facilities, and it is able to just hover there thanks to its own science and technology. And this in itself is also the biggest innovation of our technology. So I can see the columns here, they are very solid and they are at a great height. So what about those passengers afraid of height? How do you deliver safe passenger experience? Well, safety is always in the first place because it's a special system, a special infrastructure, and it's featuring an even stricter safety requirement than the boilers and than the other sectors that you commonly see. And before we come up with a system like this, we had gone through different rounds of verifications with our technology, and we tested the strength of the structure, the safety abundance and redundancy, and also the maintenance. So we ensure safety from all the different aspects. So this is also the biggest challenge of our system. So you talked about safety. Do you have a special requirement on the height? So our design principle is that when you are crossing with an infrastructure on the ground, you have to ensure a height of at least 5 meters. So this is simply to guarantee that if you have ground vehicles passing by, you won't give them any negative impact or interferences. But when there is no ground vehicle, you can reduce the height simply to reduce the cost. So through this model, and I heard that you said this is an independent suspension system. You give us a lot of introductions. Now let's take a closer look at this model. On the ground is a 2-lane road, and the columns, they are built at the green belt in between the 2 lanes. Yes, correct. And we don't take extra land space, and you can simply build up a row of columns, and then you're able to suspend the train in the air. So this railway is in the air. It's almost floating in the air. It's suspended. It's supported by the columns. So what is the difference between this one and the maglev train in Shanghai? So the maglev train on the ground, they have their own railway track as well, but the train travels above it. But here we actually integrated everything into the beam of the railway. And you can see we have a steel structure of the beams, and this is integrating the power supply system, the suspension system, and also a lot of automatic systems. It's a half-sealed structure, and the steering structure is also integrated in it. It can ensure safety and avoid derailing of the train. And as you know that the torque system or the electric motors, and they have some electromagnetic waves. So when they are fixed inside this railway structure, they can consume the electric magnetic waves, and also it can reduce the radiations. And we believe our system gives the least electromagnetic radiations. Well, Mr. Yang, this is a very detailed introduction, and that is all for the model. And you can see right here we have the electronic board giving us some electronic introduction. So we're using artificial intelligence to tell the visitors more about this system, because we attract a wide range of visitors and guests here at this exhibition hall. And traditionally, we have a human instructor here to give you some knowledge about this system. So this system is able to give you automatic introductions, and you can swipe this bar here and to get to know the specific areas of the knowledge. So on one side of this interface, we can see some of the characteristics of the train. And this one, for example, is smart driving. So tell us more about it. So you can choose manual control and automatic control. So automatic control is also smart. And this entails that you have a sound control system and signal communication system. The signal communication system of the Red Railway is in itself a great innovation. We work together with China Tonghao Technology, and we're using the Beidou satellite to give us support in terms of navigation and geological positioning. And the communication signal system is different from the traditional communication signal systems, and this is based on a full scenario automatic function, so our driver can switch to automatic and smart operation. You just need to put in the different stops, and then it will be able to run automatically on its own. Intelligence has become part of our life, and I believe that in the next few years, the public transportation system would be supported by automatic driving. Well, from a technical side, there's no more difficulties. The true challenge lies in system engineering. You have to combine all the different areas of technology. So from the beginning, when a technology is created, to technological breakthroughs and to applying the technology in practice, I believe there is a lengthy process that you have to go through. So can you tell us briefly about the development journey of this program? So the Red Railway project was initiated in 2004 in the first place. And the idea was to make breakthroughs in new materials. In Ganzhou of Jiangxi province, as you might know, we are a major producer of rare earths, and some people call us the kingdom of rare earths. The production of Ganzhou's rare earth accounts for 1/3 of China's total. In recent years, as you might know, that there's a lot of attention paid to us from the central government. But right now, we are having excessive unproductivity. So that is why in 2014, we said maybe we can engage in some major projects to drive the consumption of rare earth. And then in 2015, the MIIT, the Ministry of Information and Tech Industry, approved this project. In 2016, we worked together with a couple of industry leaders in maglev trains in joint development. In 2019, we completed the construction of Red Railway version 1.0. So that was just a trail section in a campus. And the trail section in 2019 attracted the attention of scholars, experts, and all walks of social life, and they have reinforced our confidence in furthering our research and development. So in 2020, we commercialized our technology in Xingguo County of Ganzhou City of Jiangxi Province. And in 2021, we introduced the version 2.0, which is the test run section that we're going to experience today. And in 2022, we studied to construct the whole infrastructure, and we spent roughly 1.5 years to build the railway structure and beams and columns. And then after Spring Festival, we have been busy with multiple rounds of testing. So today marks the final day of this testing period, and I want to thank all the viewers for your concern and for your support for our program. Well, just now Mr. Yang gave us a very detailed introduction about how the idea was first proposed and how this test run line is finally ready for your experience. All right, now we are on the second floor. We are at the platform, but the train has not come yet. And before the train comes, why don't you, Mr. Yang, tell us more about the different difficulties that you have encountered in coming up with the idea and in translating the idea into reality? So we have gone through a lot of difficulties, and in particular in 2014, we proposed this concept. In 2016, we verified the basic concept. In 2018, we implemented it on the ground because this is something fresh new. Those enterprises with strong capability, and they believe this is a small project, so they don't want to be part of it. But those small companies that they are very interested, then we have worries and concerns on our side because we worry they might not be able to accomplish this project in association with us. So when we were installing and testing the system, we encountered all sorts of problems. We are running a tight budget, so truly we have gone through many hardships. But after 2019, we received strong support from all walks of social life. We started to have more resources. So when we were delivering the version 2.0, it was much easier, and we standing on a higher standpoint, but the requirement was also much higher. And we invited, for example, China Railway Science and Technology Group, and also China Tonghao, which is a China Railway Signal Communications Company, to give us a lot of support. And so far, we have been very smooth with the different stages of our project. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you can see that the permanent maglev train has come to the platform, and the passengers and the test passengers, by the way, and they are boarding off. And before we getting this train, let's take a look at this train. Let's take a look at the exterior design. So at the head is the national flag. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Xingguo is a place with great tradition of supporting the revolutionary cause of China. So we are leveraging this part of the original characteristic, and we put it at the front nose of the maglev train. And also you can see there are 56 stars on it, and these represent the 56 revolutionary generals that were originally from Xingguo County. All right, in front of this train, we have a camera. We have a structure that is holding out. What is that? So this is what we call the traction hook. Well, this is simply to say that when there are a lot of passengers, you can connect this one with another compartment. So at the best of time, we can connect 4 cars or 8 cars together. So simply, you can get a much longer train with this system. So how many different trains can you connect together? Well, this is hinged upon the overall length of the beam, and each beam section is 25 meters in length. So in theory, you can extend it as long as you wish, as long as we have the ground facilities that can support the extension of the train. All right, dear viewers, we are now on board of the permanent maglev train. I can tell you, it doesn't feel quite different when you step inside the train, and this is just like the subway train that you take on a daily basis. All right, we're gonna take a look at the driver's cabin. All right, our driver is making some final preparations. So now we're gonna let our driver, Mr. Jiang, to give you an introduction about the driver cabin. So before we switch on this train, can you briefly say hello to our viewers? Hi, my name is Jiang Kun. I'm the captain of this train. All right, the train is moving already, so we are actually driving towards the other direction, so you don't need to be busy. And so tell us what these gears and sticks are for. All right, thank you very much. And so we actually have two driver's seats here. On the left is a cabin for different controls. These are different control units. Those buttons, they are for different functional purposes. And this one is the dashboard. We have lighting, air conditioner, reading lights, and also different lamps controls. So the lighting, this is for just the driver, right? Yes, this is mainly for the driver's cabin, and when it is in the evening, we have to take note of some logs or write down some logs, and we have to have sufficient lighting here. On the right side, you can see, and this is the driver's control console. This is the monitor screen, and this is the driver's cam, so we can have a direct communication with the background control center. And this one is for the wiper blade, and this one in yellow color is for emergencies. So because we are elevated in the air, so when it is raining, you need to switch on the wiper blade. Is that correct? Yes, because it may rain and the weather may also get very foggy. So this is similar to the wiper blade on your car. So there are two sticks here. So to drive forward, I believe you simply push this forward, because I see an F. So this is the key here. This one tells you the status of this driver's seat. It's off. It means that I'm not in control from my driver's cabin. If I twist it horizontal, it means that this is switched on. And this one is also for the level of the traction. If you push it further, it would drive faster. So tell me how you make turns. Well, I don't need to make turns because that is controlled by the track system, and this is similar to the high-speed railway track. The direction or the turning is controlled by the track system. All right, thank you very much for your introduction. So, Mr. Yang, to become a driver of the maglev train, what kind of driver license they need? Well, they have a special one. This is quite different from the driver's license that we use regularly. To become a driver, you need to go through some special examinations. So we can sit down and we can enjoy the beautiful view from our windows. So from the ground floor of the exhibition hall up until here, when we have become the passengers of the train, so you have shown us a lot. Are there other features that you didn't mention? So there is also a ecosystem in it. The energy consumption is 100% lower than the traditional ones. The levitation of this train does not take any energy, and also it doesn't take or consume a lot of land space. So this is another eco-friendly aspect of this train. All the materials, all the fabric, we're using recyclable materials. So this is also a new type of technology. And take a look at the suspension system. We have a lot of magnetic cylinders installed there, and they do not consume any power, and they have this magnetic force that is intuitive, that is born with them, and they don't consume any energy. So when we build a subway train, the cost is very high, and it's 600 to 1 billion RMB per kilometer. But the cost of this one is only 1/5 to 1/8 of a traditional subway. Recently, we are trying to further bring down the cost to maybe beneath 100 million RMB. So this is quite a cozy experience as a passenger in this train. If you build it along the coast, I believe you can enjoy the beautiful view of the ocean. Yes, indeed. And we have some limitations, for example, the ramps and also the steering and the geographical landscapes. So I'm talking about the traditional maglev trains, but this one we're on right now, it's very flexible. It can very easily adapt to different geological conditions. We can put it in the cities, in the downtown area. We can also put it along the reefs, in valleys, and also along the coastal line. And you can even build it in the Gobi Desert and in some super cold areas. So this is quite flexible a technology. So inside the cabin, we can see other passengers as well taking this test run, and let's have a word with them. Hi, may I know your name? Yeah, my name is Yi. So it's a great pleasure seeing you here. What is your driver's experience so far? So from the exterior design, you can see this is very impressive, and it's a maglev train that is suspended. It consumes a very limited land space, and this is an additional transportation means for humankind. And when you are actually inside this car, and you can see better views, because you are elevated to a height, and you can see very nice views. And when you are driving or taking this train along the coastal line, the view must be even more beautiful. All right, Mr. Yang, tell us more about the performance, the technical performance of this one, and what is the load capacity of this train? The design speed is 80 kilometers per hour, and this train is 2.3 meters wide and 3.6 meters in height. It has a length of 20 meters. Under AW1, we can accommodate 40 people. Under AW2, we can support 58 people, and at the most extreme conditions, we can carry more than 100 passengers. So this is a sufficient configuration for passengers in terms of technical performance. So thank you very much, Mr. Yang, for taking us on this test tour, and I have truly learned a lot about this maglev. All right, dear viewers, we have now learned something about the technical features of this train, and Mr. Yang has given us a tour about this maglev train. And here I would like to say you're welcome to travel to Xingguo to take a look at the beautiful scenery, to enjoy the delicious food, and also, very importantly, take a ride on this suspension maglev train. All right, this is all to today's program. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.